Welcome to another special. We're gonna put the backpack on and we're gonna rock and roll because we made it to the mountain. Let's see how long it took for me to get here to the mountain, and it's gonna be a shorter than usual because I do have to get back to headquarters HQ. It is 4:39, so we 1 hour 44 minutes and a few seconds. 1 hour 44 minutes and a few seconds. 1 hour 44 minutes and a few seconds to get here. Anybody want to finance? I go up and down these stairs. Up and down these stairs with rock and roll. With that rock and roll rainbow dragon, I go up and down these stairs with that rock and roll 300 times for $300. Gonna let my main out because we made it to the mountain in 1 hour 44 minutes plus some seconds. Almost 1 hour 45 minutes, and I'm guessing that about 13.4 kilometers. And when I come back from here, I still gotta go wearing these red RED shoes, auctioning everything that I'm wearing for a million to give half to my anonymous friend, who was a friend not because of the money, or because of my little tiny, cause I never had any money. Must have been the rock and roll, although I ain't got no money for the studio. To the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, always meditating what's happening now across North America. And I wake up, I got a routine, I got Asperger's. I'm an Aspie, so it's waking up, watching the news, stretching, sun salutation, watching the news, stretching, and geopolitical analysis, and geopolitics 24/7, and that's what it is with that rock and roll XYZ, and we gotta get it to the XYZ, and that's all it is to go get it. And now here we are at the mountain, and we gotta go for that drill, and SUN. The semi-public king shining, so we gotta get it on those drills, and we gotta get it on those buildings more, and the construction workers build the buildings, and gotta get a little bit of those construction workers, and we gotta get it on those construction workers XYZ, and that's what we gotta do for that building. And we gotta salute the firefighters, LOV to our firefighters, LOV to our butchers, LOV to our bakers, LOV to our nurses, LOV to our doctors. This vlog right here, vlogging rock and roll. On the go. Got an Asperger, so I say things twice, 3 times. Repeat, and I live with it. I live with retrograde amnesia and scars, and survived COVID. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. Pestilence, and disease. COVID for me. So survived COVID 2020 and was depressed and suicidal. I moved to a better place. I always say that a few years ago. I moved to a better place. I always say if I would have stayed where I used to live, but I would have probably been dead or in jail. But I moved to a better place and started working out 7 years ago in August, after September. When I got out of depression, after I crossed Canada coast to coast, that event in my life made me say, so many things to do, and to XYZ, and to write rock and roll songs and write books and continue my work as an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist. And geopolitics is my kingdom, my role, my domain, my kingdom, geopolitics. And I'm a geopolitical analyst and theorist, independent, but that's what I've been doing for years and years. Written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy related to geopolitical analysis, and that's my kingdom, my domain. Today, analyzing the Kenya situation in Kenya, and of course the continuing saga of the visit of Vladimir Putin in, of course, North Korea, and of course in Vietnam. So we're playing a little bit of football there. My children do a little bit of sports, and gotta get a little bit of sports on the XYZ. That's what I love doing, seeing people doing a little bit of living here. My cousins, my family, extended family from Quebec, playing a little football and doing a little bit of the drills. So that's what we do. We gotta get it on the XYZ. We gotta get it on the LOV. Gotta get it on the LOV. So always gotta get it on the move. Always gotta stay a step. And please, if you come here, recycle. Put it in the garbage, recycle, because we got rabbits. Throw around fun all around this place, and we're trying to preserve XYZ. That's what we're trying to do here. And it's always good now. It's always good now, and it's always good on the go, on the go, on the go. And we gotta go do on the do. So it's always doing, always philosophizing, always inquiring, and always meditating, thinking about the truckers now. Gotta get it for those dancing and a little bit of workout drill there, and gotta do a little bit of workout for as we come here to work out, and that's what we do: workout, rock and roll, geopolitics, rock and roll, and geopolitics, rock and roll, geopolitics, and rock and roll, and you know, it's a lot of loving, and I like to see people holding hands, kissing, you know, signs of public affection. Gives me some hope, you know. If not, keep it private. Hopefully somebody doing that today. Otherwise, what are you fighting safe for, you know? I always say national security starts in the day with the daycare, so now I'm gonna just go by the side there and just gonna make sure that I stay out of the way, and make sure that I gotta stay out of the way and go do my business and be secure and liberty with all others here, citizens of Canada, because now I'm in the outside, I'm in the public, so I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations which I would have not had under the normal circumstances of life. And I'm always happy, joyous when I come here, do a little bit of drills, do a bit of meditation. Farmers, food security starts with the farmers, and the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, and the grocery store clerks, all the public works, you know, all the public works that get along the do. So always meditating about the beautiful blue sky, you know. You see all the beautiful blue sky, beautiful blue sky, beautiful blue sky, and gotta get it on the go, you know. So always gotta train and exercise and stay fit. Fitness is something which, of course, begins today. I always say that my fitness begins today, and your fitness journey can begin today. As of course we move together for the fitness happening and we'll go for the mass financing thereof on XYZ, you know. So that's what we do, you know. Gonna go on the side, on the side, on the side, on the side. We're gonna go on the X, on the X, on this. We're gonna try. XYZ, you know. That's all it is. Yeah! Some children there doing some nice sports with the group, and I was like, see physical activities. Gotta salute the youth, you know. We gotta salute the youth. We gotta salute the youth. And, we gotta salute the youth. XYZ. And that's what we gotta do on the XYZ. And please, if you find things here, bring it to the lost and found. And somebody support. Painting some of these benches. Super important. Paint some benches. Some colors. And we gotta get it on the XYZ. You know, so that's what it is. We gotta get it on the benches, and we gotta get it on the benches, and we gotta get it on the benches. XYZ. painting them some blue. I would love to volunteer. Already 7 of them were painted white, so I always love to do some volunteer work. And here to embellish the city, Public Works got a salute. Always rock and roll for the Public Works on the go. Truckers on the road, those bus drivers on the public, saluting Hydro-Quebec. We gotta love it. We gotta love it out of sight. We gotta love it out of bite. We gotta love it out of right. On the right, on the left. And sun is shining, got a left. Got a left and got a right. Got a left and got a dikes. The dike. You know, building more dams takes dikes for the building of the dams. So here we go. I love coming here. Here's fresh air, you know. It's just fresh, and before I gotta go hydrate, we gotta get it on the XYZ. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of here, and we're gonna get that hydration, you know. So gonna get a little bit of hydration, a little bit of stepping, and we're gonna do a little bit of as we go. You know, gonna do as we go is discuss the DRT, and today is gonna be a short one. And we're gonna do it on the short, and we're gonna get it on the left, on the right, and we're gonna get it on the left and the right, and down the middle. Sometimes it takes that centrism, and sometimes it takes that LOV, saluting the delivery workers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, you know, independent aspie, artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, all those involved in the production, distribution of food, LOV, you know. We gotta get that troops, and saluting firefighters, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, North Americans unite. Is the rock and roll call 24/7 as I stretch, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise, and for my Canadian Armed Forces, go NATO, go NATO, go NATO, say some of that LOV. If you're not about love, nothing to do with it. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, but got food and coffee. My rent's paid, electricity bills paid, and got food and got coffee. My rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and got coffee. My rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and got coffee. And 24/7 LOV for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the distribution of food. For that LOV, we gotta stretch, and we gotta march, and we gotta get that doing for the left, and for the right, and for the left, and for the right, and inside, and gotta meditate here. The air's so fresh, and we got a freshness of the air. See, if I put it there, the camera towards the sun, you can see there. I don't know how well you see, but you can see in Florida, although I do not pass because I don't want to ruin the flora. You know, the flora got to be preserved, but nonetheless, of course, you have the berries. You have wild berries, so you can check wild berries here. And before we come back to do a workout here, we're gonna go all the way to the top, and we're gonna pass by that hydration. But nonetheless, I want to sing a little bit of that freestyle rock and roll on the mountain, on the sun shining, Pope dining. Gotta get it for the X, gotta get it for the now, gotta get it for the left. Gotta get it for the right, gotta get it for the sight. Gotta get it for those butchers on the right. And I just saw some lovers loving, you know, to my black brothers and sisters who are 13.3%, 13.4%, 13.3%, 13.4%. You know, it's always on the XYZ, and if I can work on racism, it's with kisses and hugs that I offer, you know, and gotta get that LOV, you know. So we gotta get that LOV, and we gotta get some of that LOV, and sometimes we just gotta do the drill now, and it's always a work in progress sometimes, but sometimes we just gotta deal with it and stretch and work out, and your fitness journey commences today as mine always does. And let's do a little bit of stretching right here in the sun, some hawks. Gotta do a little bit of hawks and stretching, and I got this here, you know, this here we can of course work out with it. It's, I don't know, 44 pounds maximum. And gotta think about those butchers, and think about those who of course unload and load the trucks, and the construction workers on those cranes building those buildings. It's them that gotta be saluted, encouraged, and firefighters with it, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, those delivering, and those making a sandwich, a cheeseburger, now preparing some food. Always LOV to the nurses, those in the daycares changing some diapers. I always say, of course, to my Bill brother, citizen Bill Blair, that GNU Protocol, NORAD, NATO, Dragon Army, Public-Private Partnership, Call to All initiative from this independent aspie with retrograde amnesia philosopher to go change some diapers if you're gonna put on a uniform. You know, first is the children in the daycare, coast to coast, North America, coast to coast. NORAD, NATO, you know, to change some diapers before you put on a uniform. That would be a 21st century protocol, you know, to get that going, you know, and it's always something which I gotta meditate, and of course keep in mind that in 2019 I predicted an international conflagration which parallels in a general manner the current geopolitical situation and the current geopolitical analysis which is unfolding now. So back then I predicted, that's what I predicted, and back then was my prediction, and of course do not have all the solutions, but have in part all my dream, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is a call for a public-private partnership. My Dancing Goddess and Dragon Kingdom is a call for a public-private partnership. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is a call for a public-private partnership. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is a call for a public-private partnership. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is a call for a PPP, a public-private partnership, and that's all that I'm calling for here with the 93 Motherfucker Crowley. Bury a third of me in New Jersey. Papa Crowley, bury me a third of me in New Jersey. Papa Crowley, bury a third of me in New Jersey on this island, Montreal. Saluting my brothers and sisters. Was born 3 times, twice as a man, once as a woman, served twice in 2 different wars, post-1776. In the United States, was born in the USA 3 times, served twice in the United States Army in wars, post-1776, post-1776. I was born in the USA 3 times, twice as a man, once as a woman, and served in 2 different wars. You know, cross mystic I am, yes, and I believe in reincarnations, but I also live for today with hope for tomorrow, with, of course, XYZ, with a lot of hope for tomorrow, and, of course, sometimes we just got to get doing with a little bit of vigor, and an athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist is going to go check a little bit of the spiders, where the spiders at. Sometimes I gotta give me a little bit of those spiders, you know, but I want to see the beautiful black and gold spiders, and we gotta get a little bit of spiders on the field, and we gotta get a little bit of spiders on the go, but sometimes it's the spiders which, of course, are on a deal, and we have a spider somewhere. We might have some spiders, we might not have some spiders, but nonetheless, we're gonna go hydrate and come a little bit on the back here, and gonna go get that hydration, you know, because it's important. It's not that hot, but it's important to stay hydrated. It's important to stay hydrated, and to get that LOV, and to get it on the XYZ, and to get it on the doing, and on the doing, and on the doing. And here we are on the X, and in the forest, and sometimes we gotta get it on the X and on the Y and on the Z, so that's what we gotta be doing on the breathing, exercising here. It's always a freshness. There's a freshness to this place, you know, I really love, and I encourage all, if you come here, do not pollute, do not leave things lying around, and do not leave things lying around here. You know, we gotta get it on the hydration, and gotta get it on the now, so we always gotta get it for the doing, you know, so it's always gotta get it for the now, for those butchers, and for those on the field, and for those doing the XYZ, and for those doing the labor now, and gotta get it on the dove, and start your fitness journey as I am starting. Always today, the sun is shining, and got a new rock and roll song, and I've been on the fitness journey for years, lost more than 80 pounds, and I always love when I come here, and always love to exercise here, and always love to enjoy nice view, and always enjoy to have tourists coming and explaining to them that when you come here, you utilize clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy from Hydro-Quebec. Always thinking about Hydro-Quebec, meditating since I died of COVID. And of course, I'm a philosopher who's written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, of art, of poetry, of all the XYZ, of course, to write, of course, the contingencies for the 21st century development of the North American collective complex, for the North American collective complex, of course, as we are today, you know, in this complex environment geopolitically. We gotta do a little bit of XYZ, as we go to get that hydration. It's really important to stay hydrated on a place like this, and it's not that hot today, but Anyway, so to meditate, of course, I always love when I come a tourist here. I gotta love a little bit of tourism, since the other day I was getting a little bit of tourists who came from Missouri, and I explained to them how to get to the best way, and we gotta get it on the love, you know. So it's XYZ, so it's always good to exercise and gotta go get that hydration. We gotta go get hydrated with that, and gotta pass it inside there and go straight like this, because you can go, see, you can come by the sides there, and you can go XYZ there, and we can go in on the XYZ, and we can go it for the left and on the right, yeah. You can go in on the left and on the right, you know, so we can go in on the X and on the whites. With the black and the white and the rainbow, with the black and the white and the rainbow. The white and black and the rainbow. So we gotta do it on the X, and we gotta do it some more for the X, for the white, for the rainbow, and for the colors, you know. Gotta get it for that XYZ, and gotta get it for the XYZ, you know. So, wow, look at that dog. That's a cute doggy, man. Although I get allergic to dogs. I get allergic to certain types of dogs due to the fur length, you know. So I don't pet them too much, except for poodles. Poodles I pet, you know. The poodles I can pet. You know, so we gotta get on the poodles I can pet. And that's about it. Hey, somebody coming from Georgia. Was there in a past life. LOV, served in the United States Army. And there for that LOV, you know. So it's gotta get it on the drill. Somebody holding hands, that gives me hope. The youth. That gives me some hope, man. That's what it's worth fighting for, you know. People LOV. It's not all about the money, Wall Street. Money is to buy, sell. You know, but it's not all about the money. I believe now today is the DRT, the debt refusion theory, the best theory, of course, to be XYZ implemented now is the DRT, debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory, the DRT, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the U, and just gonna get a little bit of that hydration, and gonna get a little bit of water here. Here you can drink water, but if not, you have inside there. If you're not comfortable with this water right here, you can check it all around, but nonetheless, I've been drinking from this water for years and years, and I never got sick. Never got sick, and I've been drinking a lot every day, so even yesterday I've been drinking so much of it. It's always good to get a little bit of hydration and sip up. Just make sure it's clean a bit, because sometimes it might get dirty, you never know, but it looks clean and okay and kosher, you know, so. It's not that hot, it's a bit warm though. It's a bit warm. It's a bit on the warm side. Nonetheless, I gotta be grateful for those to build it. It's been many times, and it's been a lot. Today's has a little bit of different taste. It has a little bit of a different taste, but it doesn't seem to be that much different. Hugging there, that's good. See, that's what's worth fighting for. NORAD, NATO, Canadian Armed Forces, NORAD, NATO, LOV, and children, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, firefighters, salute. It's not all about the money, and that's why I'll be loving me a little bit, man. Y'all give me hope when I see people love it, you know. That's worth fighting for a lot, you know. It's not all about the money. So we're gonna go inside and cross it in, and gonna go in deep as we go by the sides like that. We cut it in and we go to the top. That's just how we drill. With it, and that's what I love to do. And somebody wearing red, my favorite color, always pleasant. It's a little bit on the. It's not that hot. It's not that hot. Somebody love it now, you know. So. To the graduates, man. Saluting the graduates. The graduates. That's important. Make some good LOV for the graduates. Some rock and roll for those graduating. Y'all done made it. That's the summer waiting on love, love, love summer. For the graduated, you almost flung that math. Hey, Jonathan and Cindy, you almost wanted to cheat on that last exam. But it's okay, y'all passed up anyway. Hey, gotta give me some of that rock and roll. 24/7 artist, athlete, philosopher, and geopolitical analyst and theorist. Those are my obsessions, you know. People with Asperger's, we can be intense, especially when I march, work out. I'm in it. And when I march, my marching dance, rock and roll arts that's my focus. So I'm super focused, super in it, and you know, geopolitics. When I discuss and analyze geopolitics, that's my super focus. Super focused, and I'm really in it. You know, when I discuss geopolitics, that is my kingdom, my realm, my domain. So that's what it is. You know, so that's what it is. 24/7 with me, and always grateful for it, always thankful, and always appreciate. You know, so always appreciate. Gratitude is important. You know, civilization is a privilege. You know, just drinking potable water. Imagine all those pipes underneath, laid, labor, brains, and muscle to get at the fruit, to get to the fruit of the water, the top of the mountain. You know, all that labor, man. Gotta get on that salutations. You know, civilization is a privilege in many ways, and gotta work with that nature of civilization. And I'm not totally selfless. You know, I don't make pretense, and I encourage all to work out, try and exercise. I'm working with the laptop. You know. There's my work tool here with the vlog, and sometimes you gotta work with what you're given. Give me some paint and some brushes, I'll volunteer, blah, 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 to paint all the benches there. You know, we got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do. Just work, and this is my independent work, you know, it's independent Asperger's, artist, athlete, AAA, artist, athlete, and geopolitical analyst, and theorist, and philosopher as well. Entering the mountain now, you know. Always meditating about the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors. Hey, train conductors, gotta salute those train conductors. Choo-choo train, build the railroads. Gotta salute, you know, salaries, you know. Calling for the DRT. Speaking of the DRT, I think now is the moment for me to discuss it. Before I do forget, because it's super important. But of course, I want to say again, grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid as I ascend now the mountain. And what time is it? It's 5:07, so today is going to be a short one because we got a little bit of an event, you know, a little bit of an event going on, and that's what it is, for an event to do XYZ and XYZ for us to be on the doing and on the doing and on the doing sometimes, on that doing LOV and doing on the X and doing on the love and doing some doing. You know, it takes being, doing, and takes philosophizing. You know, so that's all I got to do. Sometimes we just got to get on the drill and say, hey, I start my fitness journey today. You know, start my fitness journey today. You know, that's all you got to do. So sometimes it takes the drill and takes the WILL, you know, takes the WILL. So let's discuss that DRT. DRT stands for debt refusion theory. What is the debt refusion theory? The DRT is the debt refusion theory, is my theory, financial theory, and my brothers and sisters, it is the only solution now. There's no other solution but the implementation of the DRT theory for the creation of what I call the Universal Exchange Unit. And before I do proceed, I want to say that keep in mind that my DRT, debt refusion theory, stands for DRT, debt refusion theory. That's what it stands for. D for debt, R for refusion, REFUSION, refusion theory is the only solution of where we are now. As I take these steps ascending the mountain furthermore, that of course The DRT is the only solution, only solution, only solution. Of course, to get it on the go and get it on the now and get it for the X and doing it. It has to be implemented. There's no other way but the DRT, the DRT, the DRT, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. And of course, I'm going to show you why. And keep in mind that my DRT theory, debt refusion theory, also includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union, what was done in the European Union, what was done in the European Union. The European Union, of course, the European Union, they created a global central bank called the ECB. European Central Bank, the ECB, the European Central Bank, and of course, they adopted a common currency called the euro. And of course, we gotta get it, and we're gonna do the same, and we're gonna do the same. The ECB for the creation of the euro. That's what they did, of course, in the European Union, and that's, of course, what we are going to do. So anyways, watch it for the shit there. Watch for the shit, bro. It's horse poop. I gotta get it on the X, man. Watch it. Tell my fellow citizens to watch out because there was a big one. There's a big one, of course, to get it on, and there's a big one there, you know. So it's on the. You step on that, it's a big one. Anyways, that's manure is fertile, but and the horses are police, said they passed, and they gotta get it for the X. So here it is, the DRT theory, of course, for the creation of the UE. Of course, the DRT stands, of course, for debt refusion theory. Debt refusion theory. The DRT, the DRT is the only solution. The DRT is the only solution, and of course the only solution to be implemented now. Keep in mind again that my DRT, debt refusion theory, also includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union, right? So here it is, the motive and the reason how come I say that the DRT is the only solution, is the only solution, is the only solution, is the only solution. So these are all the, I'm going to take some picture of these because in a parallel life I know everything about supercomputers, ICBM rockets, gadgets, everything about supercomputers, ICBM rockets and gadgets, and I know everything about supercomputers, ICBM rockets and gadgets, and that's what I know about it. So in 2020, 2021, this is the motive, the reason how come I say my DRT theory is the only solution. As I pass by here, meditating that in a parallel life, I'm an Aspie super scientist. I also have Asperger's, but I build, design super satellites, super radio systems, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, 7G, everything to do with computers, and microchips, smartphones. I'm coding, everything to do with science and technology. I'm also an Aspie, have Asperger's, but that's my kingdom and empire in that parallel life. Here in this life is geopolitics, sports, fitness, and dancing is my favorite sport, and rock and roll. And the DRT, due to the curse of Asperger's, I'm able to present to you. So what are we gonna do? Because I'm gonna show you the motive why I say that the DRT is the only solution. So in 2020, 2021, we paid 20.3 billion interest. So in 2020, 2021, we paid 20.3 billion interest. In 2020, 2021, we paid 20.3 billion interest on the public debt. So this is what I'm showing you. I took this picture in 22nd of November of last year. Last year I took this picture, November 22nd. So these are the official numbers from the CBC, from the Bank of Canada. Look, this is proof that my DRT theory is the only solution. My DRT theory is the only solution. 2020, 2021 is 20.3 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. So double that would have been 40.6. So 2023, 2024, it's more than double to 46.5. 46.5, because double would have been 20.3 times 2 would have been 40.6. It more than doubled to 46.5 billion just servicing the debt. Meaning, in other words, just paying the interest. That's what debt servicing means. Is a fancy technical term to say how much interest we pay. And I'm $10,500 in debt, more or less. About 10,000, let's say, about 10,000. And bien sûr, this is why I show you that the motive, of course, that the only solution is this. That the only solution is this. That the only solution is this. You know? That the only solution is this, you know? Anyways, so that's the motive. As my cousins pass by me there, go on your jog, and good for you. And gotta stay on the right side and be mindful that here is public, and it's not just my mountain, my forest, but it belongs to all of us. So I gotta, my security, my liberty, my work has to be in complementary enjoy with my cousins and extended family here in Montreal, North America, on the mountain, who pledge your allegiance, legions, thou art family, pledge your allegiance, legions, thou art family, pledge your allegiance, legions, thou art families, the rock and roll song, blah, 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 support the PPP, public-private partnership for the dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, you know. So we're going to get that partnership, and we're going to get it on the X and on the Y, and we're going to get it for the XYZ, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do on the XYZ, so there we go. We're gonna extend that and take all the. This is the DRT now. So you saw. Proof how much billions we pay in interest. A billion is 1,000 million. So 20.3 billion, 2021, that was 20,000 million, 46,000 million in interest. I like comedy, but listen. This is serious. This is serious. And through the curse of Asperger's, losing 99% of friends made in the past 7 years. But I'm happy I accepted my Asperger's. There's no medication. And again, Asperger's is not a mental illness. It is a neurodivergent psychic mental condition. Asperger's is not a mental illness. It is a neurological mental divergent condition. It is a neurological mental divergent condition. Asperger's is not a mental illness. It is a neurological mental divergent condition. And that's what it is, Asperger's. You know, it's just having Asperger's. That's what it is. And you know, I don't do drugs and stuff like that. Some people might think I'm mentally ill and, you know, stuff like that. And on drugs, working out is my therapy of choice, and rock and roll and coming here is good for the mental health. And gratitude is great for the mental health. And all the suffering, all the pain, of course, I'm able to present to you the solution. The solution. The solution is the DRT. There's no other solution but the DRT. The debt refusion theory for the creation of the US. So I'm going to now explain to you. And I'm excited because this is for me, for you, for us. It's for the greater good, for the greater good, for the greater good. And I don't play it self-righteous. I do not play it self-righteous. I do not play it self-righteous. I do not play it self-righteous, you know. That's not just how I do. Because I do lust. I'm rainbow, gay, androgynous, pansexual, gay, androgynous, pansexual, gay, androgynous, pansexual, but I'm a pro-labor, love, universal, revolutionary centrist, and my centrism is tied with my holy trinity of theories, the CIT, citizen integration theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory, and the democratic fusion theory. The DFT, democratic fusion theory, and the CIT, citizen integration theory, and the DRT. So that's what we're going to do, of course. Now we're going to discuss the DRT, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. So the DRT, debt refusion theory, right? The DRT, the debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory. We're going to take all the private and the public debt, my 10,500, your 10,000, whatever, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, all the public and private debt of Canada, coast to coast, United States, Mexico. And since the United States dollar is the top currency in the world still, for international business, international finance, and global commerce, we're going to have to do the conversion from Canadian dollar to US dollars, right? From Canadian dollars to US dollars. We're going to have to do that conversion, right? So we're going to have to convert. So all the public-private debt of Canada, United States, Mexico, Haiti, Cuba is the paradox, of course. Cuba is the paradox. But of course, whatever the case may be, or other countries as well, of North America. I'm speaking as a North American, Quebecer, Canadian, with first and foremost for Canada, US, Canada, NORAD, NATO. It could be extended transatlantic, but it's a beginning right here in Montreal, Canada, coast to coast. So all the public-private debt, we're going to take all the public and the private debt, we're going to put that money, and with that money, we're going to convert converted to US dollars, and all added to the US, added with the Mexican peso, converted all the public-private debt of Mexico converted to US dollar. All that money will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So all that money will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All that money will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All that money will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All that money will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So all that money will be the initial money supply for a new central bank, just like they did in the European Union with the ECB, European Central Bank. We're going to create a new bank, and we're going to extend and create the UE. The UE will be equal to the United States dollar. I got to watch it here because it's a slope, so I got to watch so I don't fall. Just bend my knees a little bit, strategy, you know. So take all the private and the public debt, all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, convert it to US dollars, add it all up. That money will be the initial money supply for this new central bank to issue what I call the UE, Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange, that's what I'm calling my Scorpio brother Bill Gates. Scorpio brother Bill Gates, and of my Scorpio brother Joe Biden also is a Scorpio, and from Black Rock is Larry Fink is another Scorpio. It's, of course, doesn't matter the astrological signs, and that just could be all the signs. Of course, it will be all the signs Sagittarius, and Leos and Pisces, and all 12 plus the 13. But basically what I'm saying is that, of course, it takes the public and the private financial institutions, because I named a private financial institution, so it takes the public banks, the banks, central banks, Federal Reserve, Banco de Mexico, and the public and the private to create the UE. So take all the public and the private debt. That money will be the initial money supply for this bank. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%, not higher than 10%. It could be 9%, 8%, 3.33, 1.56, 7.18, 6.1, 7.70, 8.0, whatever the case may be, 4.18, 7.18, and 9.3 below 10%. We're going to freeze all the prices of milk, of butter, or cheese. On all that money, we're going to mass finance infrastructure rebuilding. We're going to finance the complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, the Dragon Army, security and service and defense, security, service and defense, security, service and defense, with the Dancing Goddess Army, that DGA, Dancing Goddess Army, to rebuild the environment, to plant more trees, and to rebuild a lot of the infrastructure, rebuild the bridges, build parks, finance, build painting. All the benches haven't been painted in more than 44 years, the benches, and that's money it is, enables us to do, you know, and finance food security and construction workers salute, build more social housing, and have a public-private partnership, the dream. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, the dream. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, the dream. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, the dream of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. That's what it is, you know. So we got to get it on the go, we got to get it on the now, and we got to get it for the X, and we got to do it for the Y. Sometimes we just got to get drilling, and, you know, I've been saying gratitude, grateful, thankful, of course, that my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and it's always on the go now, and it's always being grateful. Gratitude is super important in everything that yours truly does. It's, of course, something which, of course, enables mental health and fitness, and with that money, we're going to be able to finance mass fitness. Let's go NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. We're going to support more women's sports as well, because let's face it, don't make money that much, parallel in comparison, but nonetheless, we're going to be able to do that, right? And here, we're going to be able to build the Forgotten Goddess Temple, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon, with the Forgotten Goddess Temple. Right here, face to face, we're going to be able to build the Forgotten Goddess Temple, right here. We're going to be able to build the Forgotten Goddess Temple, and face to face with the House of the Dragon, which I'll credit trillions of kisses from the Forgotten Goddess Temple to build right there with the House of the Dragon, pyramid, scarlet, crimson, red, crimson, scarlet, red, crimson, scarlet, to build in a pyramid, the House of the Dragon with the Forgotten Goddess Temple. And of course here we're going to be able to build a 7 stories high Forgotten Goddess to have activities such as full moon celebrations of full moon, new moon, and dancing and all sorts of entertainment here. The entertainment and dancing and celebration of new moon, and get it for the celebratory moods here for the Dancing Goddess Army headquarters and the Dragon Army headquarters right there. The Dragon Army with, of course, right here the Forgotten Goddess Temple and the House of the Dragon, and we gotta get it on the X, on the Y, on the Z right here. my fellow citizens passing there, you know, so gotta get their safety, their security, and they're going the mountain, maybe visiting from a place, and learn some French. If you come here with us, we're gonna switch to that French in a bit, and here we're gonna build the Forgotten Goddess Temple. And I want to build a third one with it, the Rainbow People's Palace, Rainbow People's Palace, Rainbow People's Palace, and of course with the House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon. Pyramid, 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 right there, right there. All I need is 3 rooms, bathroom with a bathtub, a sleeping quarters, a kitchen, and House of the Dragon here. That's all I need. And Forgotten Goddess Temple, Forgotten Goddess Temple, Forgotten Goddess Temple. That's what I need. I don't need much. Plus the third one, we're gonna build it, of course, right there. We're gonna get it on the XYZ, you know, so that's what we're gonna be doing, XYZ, and gonna be doing, and now we're gonna be stretching a little bit. As I love to come stretch here, I'm just gonna protect my eyes, and there's a rock here, a rock which I really, really love, and I love to stretch with it. I love to stretch with the rock there. It's always good to stretch with the rock, and you gotta get it for the rock, and you gotta get it for the formations, and you gotta get it for the love, and for the lovers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the grocery store clerks, for all involved in the production, distribution of food. Sometimes we just gotta drill it and get that vigor, vigor, vigor. See, this is like a pyramid. See? That's like a pyramid there. That's like a pyramid there, you know, so gotta get it for that pyramid, man. Here build a Forgotten Goddess Temple, and there build the House of the Dragon. Here the House of the Dragon, and there the Forgotten Goddess Temple. You know, that's what we gotta do. We gotta get it for the X, and we gotta get it for the Y, so gotta get it for the plantation zones. We're gonna be able to plant more. So much more we're gonna be able to plant, to plant, to plant, to plant. We're gonna be able to do more plantations and do, of course, more. That's what money is, you know, to enable us to do, enable us doing, and take some brains and muscle, the building of civilization. We're going to build more satellites for the defense of North America, NORAD, Dragon Army initiatives, build some more mobile defense, integrate this, apply the CIT citizen integration theory, and open up some mountains like Cheyenne across North America, and rebuild mass infrastructure and stack and build some cities like the underground city of Montreal in case of a thermonuclear war. It's possible. In my scenario, of course, I'm going to go back now to my scenario in 2019. Of course, if you don't know, I'm a geopolitical analyst and theorist. And in 2019, I had made, of course, an international development, an international analysis of the geopolitics, because that's basically what I do on the daily for years and years and years. And of course, that's what I do, of course, on the daily for years. So that's what it is. And, you know, I predicted what's happening now in a general manner. I predicted what is happening now in a general manner. I predicted what is happening now in a general manner, not in a detailed manner, not in a detailed manner, but of course in a general manner. I predicted an international conflagration, and that international conflagration is happening now. So I got some solutions. I'm not perfect, far from it. You know, I don't need to spy on me, China, Russia. You know, I like my rainbow BDSM switch. I don't need to spy on me, China, Russia, or whatever, China, Russia. Whatever case may be, Stasi are gone in East Germany for more than 44 years. The Cold War was. Built a lot of nuclear warheads and ICBM rockets during those more than 44 years of the Cold War, East versus West. And it's happening a big realignment now. And no matter what I say, if I go on a tangent on geopolitics, I'm a North American for the North American Collective Civilizational Complex to build more satellites and open up some mountains and stack them with food and stack them with defense, coast to coast satellites to be able to intercept ballistic missiles. So an integrated citizenry, and you know, that's I predicted in a general manner back in 2019. And I've created, I have proof of work. I even created I created a workout training program system designed to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario. That's what it is. So that's what I created, and that's what I love. See, that's what's worth fighting for there, man. People hugging there, that's what's worth fighting for there. That's what's worth fighting for there. That's what's worth fighting for there. People who just give themselves a hug, you know. You hug for me like you never hugged before, you know. I could always use a hug, you know. Always use a good HUG and some kisses I got, hugs I got, by the trains I got, but money, I'm financially stressed. I'm just financially stressed at the moment. I'm just financially stressed, but I'm grateful, nonetheless. Mental health, due to gratitude and working out consistently for years and years and years now. After coming out of that depression, is gonna be marking 7 years soon as I'm calling for the Dragon Septennium. We gotta go for the XYZ, and that's why we're gonna go for the love, and gotta get it for the lovers and the those of course who are there in the field, and gotta get it for the lovers, who gotta get it on the field. And it's always watch the poop. There's poop there, see? My fellow citizen who's jogging and he's got to get it on the poop there. If you step on the poop, that's just dog. It's just big poop from the horses basically, and you can get the horse poop, but it's not really. It's really manure. It's really fertilizer in many ways. It's just hay basically, but if you want to go scientific about it, but I'm not that grossed out about the poop there to see it. It's actually a good fertilizer, I think, but although this is like paved a little bit. So anyways, back to what I was saying is back in 2019, of course, had predicted an international conflagration. So as a geopolitical analyst and theorist, we gotta get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z. So that's what we gotta do now and go to the sun. And I'm very, very, very parched now. So parched. Very, very thirsty. We gotta give it on the XYZ, man. So please don't do this. This has to be put in the recycling. Don't leave that stuff there like that. Hydro-Quebec, see? We gotta meditate on the Hydro-Quebec, see? Gotta salute that. That's Hydro-Quebec, man. Here we got an XYZ. Gotta go for the love, man. Please don't leave stuff like that. Somebody kissing. That's what I gotta do. I saw people kissing, so I can gives me hope, man. I get that hope. HOPE. I gotta get that HOP when I see people on the kissing, man. So see somebody there kissing, that gives me some good hope. I can continue with the rock and roll and get to LOV, man. LOV, a little bit of that match, man. Okay, so gotta get it now. I'm gonna go thirst. We gotta get that thirst, thirsty, man. Super thirsty. Gotta go hydrate, man. Just super thirsty. Gotta go drink. Hydrate, HYDRATE. It's just what we gotta do. HYDRATE. Super important, man. So just gonna do a meditation here. Think about all that brains and muscle just to have just clean water to drink here on the mountain. All those pipes underneath. Imagine all that. That's a lot of labor, a lot of rock and roll of that, man. I don't know if they were singing rock and roll now, but maybe they were. But I'm gonna sing a little bit of rock and roll for them, that's for sure. Now we're gonna get it on the XYZ and XYZ, so that's what we're gonna be doing, man. Wait for the water because it's actually hot. It's not good to drink, so it's gonna let it run for a few seconds and count for 30 seconds, whatever the case may be, because it's really hot. So just stand there, whatever the case may be. Fill it up, a little bit of bottom, and a little top. A little bit of drill, a bit of basketball, football, some sports, fitness. That's what it is. All it is with me is geopolitics, fitness, sports, coming here to my second home, the mountain, down the mountain. My second home, the mountain, and gotta get that hydration and get that thirst, drink it all, and go back again, do the roundup, and head back to headquarters. Gonna be a shorter one today, because I wanna be back by 8, I don't know, by 8 o'clock, whatever the case may be. And try to head back to headquarters, so I'm just gonna hydrate all. Just gonna HYD, RAT. So we're gonna just drink it all this, and it's about 650 milliliters, you know. That's what it is about. So we get the hydration and drink it all, man. What time is it? 5:33, 5:33, 5:33. Yeah. Oh yeah. So think about that. To get the water here, all the public works, to get the water here has been all those pipes laid in the public works, all the pipes laid underneath the ground, So many pipes were laid, of course, just to get, of course, the pipes underneath the works and to get those pipes moving and roundabout and all the filters, all the systems in the 20th century for us here in the 21st century for me to have this water right here. Right? So I'm grateful, thankful nonetheless for it. Just imagine, you can only do a meditative imagination on rock and roll, but nonetheless I can see and like vision like the labor and work, probably a lot. Imagine just drinking water, man. It's quite something. If you just meditate about the privilege of civilization, you can meditate about that and imagine so much just to have drinking water. Imagine that. First atop the mountain, just to have this drinking water, so much labor underneath, so many pipes in the 20th century were laid probably miles and miles and miles of kilometers, connecting all the way to the mountain for us to have the water, drinking water, just drinking water in that fountain. Imagine that. Maybe you gotta meditate, of course, but it's probably hundreds of kilometers and then connected with the filters and the water comes. It's quite something, civilization, if you, things we take for granted, you know. But we got as a geopolitical analyst and defense strategist, you got to think about these things, and I've been thinking about these things for years and years and years. In a geopolitical emergency, World War III, something which has to be secured, and thought about it, and citizens have to be aware of water, food, shelter. The extras come with it, like the extras come with it afterwards. But nonetheless, there is a primordial principle, to just do a little bit of the meditation on the running water to drink it a little bit, So, oh yeah. So just gonna finish this hydration and gonna go get that rock and roll. Yeah, it's a bit warm though. Ah, yeah, that's it. Gonna get it for that. Sing it for the rock and roll. For the roll on the road. Gotta get it for that rock and roll on the road. Here we go. On the sun shining, sun road. What time is it? Oh, 5:37. Okay, we're gonna do the round and go back. That's what I gotta do, man. Gotta go back, I'll go back to the singing, That's what we do. Singing rock and roll and go top on the mountain and go top on the left and go top. Yeah. Feels good, man. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see, of course, the river, man. Big river up in there, see? Go see a big river up in there, right? To get it on the X and on the Y and on the Z, So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. That's it. That's it. That's all. There we go. We're gonna switch it to that French. Trash. That was the top of the mountain. And we switch it to that French now. French. Ready! Because we're in La Belle Province and we're heading back to headquarters. I wonder what that is. Je me demande c'est quoi que c'est cet oiseau. On est sur la montagne. Faites attention parce qu'il y a aujourd'hui des excréments de et du cheval. Du cheval, les chevaux ici. Oui, du cheval, les chevaux. Cheval, les chevaux. Du cheval, les chevaux. Et on est sur la montagne, gratitude avant tout. La gratitude. J'aime ça commencer avec la gratitude, puis c'est super important, mais d'avoir la gratitude, c'est bon pour la santé mentale, puis je viens de voir du monde qui se donne des bisous, des câlins, ça me donne l'espoir. Votre aspire artiste athlète, votre aspire artiste athlète, votre aspire artiste athlète, votre aspire artiste athlète, aspire artiste. C'est l'Asperger's. Le dragon arc-en-ciel qui chante. La danse est mon sport préféré, puis la géopolitique aujourd'hui j'analyse. J'analyse bien sûr. J'analyse. Bien sûr. Les événements géopolitiques d'aujourd'hui. C'est bien sûr le Kenya, puis ça continue avec Poutine, sa visite en Corée du Nord, puis bien sûr au Vietnam. Je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique parallèlement, est artiste et philosophe, athlète qui est la danse, puis ça c'est mes obsessions, vous savez, les aspirants dans les intérêts obsessifs. Et encore une fois, l'Asperger's, c'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence psychique. C'est une condition de neurodivergence psychique, c'est une condition de neurodivergence psychique, c'est une condition de neurodivergence mentale psychique. Je consomme pas de drogue, même si je suis sûr que les dernières années, 7 ans et plus, que j'ai perdu 99% de mes amis, mais à cause de l'Asperger, mais ces dernières années, j'ai accepté, puis j'y travaille, je fais la gestion des symptômes parce que il n'y a pas de médicaments pour l'Asperger, puis c'est pas la drogue, c'est le café, puis on est intense, surtout quand je marche, puis je danse, puis je fais l'entraînement physique, puis je discute la géopolitique, c'est mes intérêts obsessifs, puis dans ces intérêts-là, mais c'est mon royaume, mon domaine. Si vous rentrez dedans, puis j'ai survécu la COVID, 2020, déjà 4 ans et plus, j'étais comme la mort, la pestilence puis la maladie, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence puis la maladie, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence puis la maladie, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence puis la maladie, puis j'ai survécu la COVID depuis maintenant, bien sûr, avec la gratitude, bien sûr, la gratitude, la gratitude, la gratitude, bien sûr, la gratitude. Important pour la santé mentale, super important pour la santé mentale, super important pour la santé mentale. La gratitude, puis le soleil, le pape. Et la gratitude, puis l'entraînement physique, je vous encourage à l'entraînement physique. C'est ma médecine et thérapie de choix. Puis on retourne, n'est-ce pas? On y va, on y va. Et ici, avec votre aide de soutien, aidez à construire le temple de la déesse oubliée vis-à-vis face à face. La maison du dragon, la maison du dragon. La maison du dragon, la maison du dragon. Écarlate rouge à 3 chambres. Chambre à coucher. Chambre à coucher. Chambre à coucher, chambre à dormir, une salle de bain à mettre dormir, puis avec le temple de la déesse oubliée. Pour des événements comme là, pleine lune, la pleine lune, la pleine lune. Célébration de la pleine lune, la moitié lune, mais d'autres événements pour la nature, pour la nature, pour la nature. Puis la maison du dragon, rouge écarlate. Rouge écarlate, puis avec la rouge puis écarlate. La maison du dragon, 3 chambres, j'ai besoin seulement. Puis une chambre à coucher, une chambre à dormir, puis une salle de bain avec un bain tourbillon, puis le temple de la déesse oubliée, puis un autre palais, bien sûr, palais du peuple arc-en-ciel, le palais du peuple arc-en-ciel, le palais du peuple arc-en-ciel, comme votre dragon arc-en-ciel, gratitude. Mon loyer est payé, ma facture d'électricité est payée, j'ai du café petit thé, j'ai payé mon loyer. Pour le mois de juin, juillet 1er s'en vient, le 1er juillet, fait que mon loyer est payé, ma facture d'électricité est payée, j'ai du café petit thé, puis bien sûr, l'entraînement physique, j'ai de la nourriture chez nous. J'ai de la nourriture chez nous, fait que c'est bon. Et bien sûr, les fermiers, salutations amour, salutations avec amour. À nos pompiers, nos boulangers, les fermiers dans les boulangers, ceux qui changent les couches dans les garderies. Et bien sûr, les travailleurs qui font des constructions, bâtiments. L'Hydro-Québec travaille du passé et du présent, bien sûr. Puis tout ça, c'est la civilisation, c'est un privilège. La civilisation est un privilège. La civilisation est un privilège. Puis des fois, on prend des choses pour acquis, mais c'est des choses qu'il faut qu'on médite parce qu'on est dans des temps difficiles, durs. Puis en géopolitique, des fois, ça va pas bien. Maintenant, j'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant, la situation actuelle. Je l'ai prévu, qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant, la situation actuelle. Je l'ai prévu, qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant, la situation actuelle. J'ai prévu, qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant, la situation actuelle. J'ai prévu, qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant, la situation actuelle. Et bien sûr, j'ai prévu, qu'est-ce qui se passe. Ben, d'une manière générale, j'ai prévu, bien sûr, qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant. J'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant d'une manière générale. Qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant dans le monde en 2019. J'ai fait une analyse, parce que c'est ça mes intérêts obsessifs. Nous autres, les Aspergers, on a des intérêts obsessifs. C'est mon royaume, mon empire, la géopolitique. L'entraînement physique, la géopolitique et l'entraînement physique. C'est l'entraînement physique, la géopolitique. L'entraînement physique, la géopolitique. C'est l'entraînement physique, la géopolitique, puis la danse, c'est mon sport préféré, puis avec ça, ben, les études de civilisation. Fait que dans ces choses-là, bien sûr, c'est mon royaume, mon domaine. Puis bien sûr, dans mon royaume, mon domaine, ben, c'est ça que je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique et un athlète, artiste, philosophe, un 7e comédien, artiste, philosophe, un 7e comédien, artiste, philosophe et un 7e comédien qui a la amnésie rétrograde un peu, puis le dragon, vous chantez, vous mettez du ciment et du béton, les travailleurs en construction pour bâtir d'autres centrales et puis bien des maisons, c'est les travailleurs en construction avec le savoir-faire, avec le ciment, le béton puis le fer qui construisent. Hey, salutations aux chauffeurs d'autobus, salutations aux chauffeurs d'autobus, salutations aux chauffeurs d'autobus, les trains, conducteurs de train, il faut toujours méditer. Je travaille aussi dans mes méditations depuis des années, puis je dois remercier à ceux qui ont fait des travaux de plantation ici. Puis je vous en prie, demande, s'il vous plaît, ne pas polluer ici si vous venez dans la forêt surtout. Prenez vos canettes, mettez-les dans le recyclage. Et les poubelles, mettez-les dans les poubelles, bien sûr. Mettez-les dans les poubelles, bien sûr. Si, dans les poubelles, bien sûr, ça fasse. Et bien sûr, si vous mettez ça dans le recyclage, ça va bien, bien sûr, prêtez attention à la nature ici. Donc, en évitant de faire la pollution, en évitant de mettre, bien sûr, des canettes, puis de mettre du recyclage. Ici, laisser des vidanges, des matières c'est des vidanges ici dans la forêt, je les mettais où que ça va, puis on a les travailleurs publics, je dois saluer les travailleurs publics, aujourd'hui, bien sûr, cette marche pour dédier aux ceux qui mènent le compostage, le service de compostage, toujours les fermiers, ceux qui produisent les aliments, dans les boucheries, les boulangers, les électriciens, les camionneurs. Salutations, je médite toujours, c'est les chauffeurs de train, qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant avec les chauffeurs de train? Qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant avec le chauffeur de train? Qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant avec les chauffeurs de train? Ça prend ça va faire la technologie, puis c'est bien sûr pour la défense de côte à côte, je vais défendre, puis maintenant je vais vous expliquer, puis je vais vous en parler de la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, parce que c'est la seule et unique solution, méchant, puis je dois dire que ça vient, la théorie de la dette, TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie, R, refusion de la dette, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette que ça va bien sûr pour la faire, l'implémentation, parce que c'est la seule et unique solution, il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la théorie de la refusion R, D de la dette, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie, la refusion de la dette, la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est la seule et unique théorie, bien sûr, qu'on peut faire maintenant pour faire l'implémentation, parce qu'on est rendu, bien sûr, à un point de crise financière, même public-privé, mais pas tous les privés, là, mais, parce qu'il y en a qui sont bien sûr bien, mais moi-même, mon seul problème en ce moment, c'est, bien sûr, étant en crise, étant en stress financier, tu sais. Le seul problème maintenant, c'est étant en crise puis en stress financier. Mon seul problème maintenant, c'est étant en crise puis en stress financier. Mon seul problème maintenant, c'est étant en crise et en stress financier. Mon seul problème maintenant, c'est étant en crise et en stress financier, bien sûr. Puis, je vais juste prendre une salutation de mon pape. Le pape, le soleil qui brille. Je fais du rock&roll pour aujourd'hui. Pour que ça fasse pour la danse, pour la renaissance. Faut faire des fois le plein. Il faut faire des fois le plein. Avec des outils et des machins. Puis, bien sûr, les outils et des machins, je vais vous montrer. Bien sûr, que... Et pourquoi je dis que la TRD, c'est la seule et unique solution, méchant, québécois et québécoise. J'ai été maudit par l'Asperger's, mais il y a une bénédiction maintenant, à cause de mes obsessions, que j'ai conçu cette théorie, parce que une de mes obsessions, c'est les études de civilisation. Puis dans les études de civilisation, on étudie les finances publiques, parce que les finances publiques, ça sert à quelque chose. Comme l'argent, ça sert à quelque chose. Faut pouvoir faire, produire, échanger. Et bien sûr, l'infrastructure, bien sûr, les aqueducs, tout ça, les produits, les biens communs du public. Puis mon rêve, c'est pour un partenariat public-privé dans tout ce que je fais. Quand je dis soutenir le rêve de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, c'est fondamentalement un appel pour un partenariat public-privé. C'est fondamentalement ça, bien sûr, un appel pour un partenariat public-privé. C'est fondamentalement ça. Un appel pour un partenariat public-privé, un appel pour un partenariat public-privé. Et bien sûr, c'est la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, que je vous en parle maintenant avec le soleil qui brille fort. Et je vais vous montrer pourquoi je dis ça. Que la TRD, puis tenez compte que ma théorie, théorie de la refusion, REFUSION, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est la seule et unique solution en ce moment. C'est car et parce que, regardez, où qu'on est rendu à payer juste l'intérêt sur la dette publique. Ça, c'est la preuve. Pourquoi je dis ça? Que c'est la seule et unique solution. Regardez ça, c'est 2020-2021. Et bien sûr, c'est 20,3 milliards, 20,3 milliards, 20,3 milliards, 20,3 milliards. Ça, c'est le taux d'intérêt. Ça, c'est juste service de la dette. La dette qu'on payait, bien sûr, la dette, l'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette. Ça, c'est juste le service de l'intérêt. Dans d'autres mots, c'est combien d'intérêts qu'on paye. On payait en 2020-2021 20,3 milliards. 1 milliard, c'est en 9 zéros, ça. C'est en 9 zéros. Regardez, 3 ans plus tard, c'est sûr à cause de la COVID. On paye maintenant cette année 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards. On paye cette année 46,5 milliards. Fait que regardez ça. C'est plus que le double. Si vous faites le calcul de 20,3 milliards à 46,5, c'est plus que le double, c'est plus que le double, c'est plus que le double. Regardez ça, 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6. Mais c'est plus que le double, c'est 46,5. Ça, cette photo-là, je l'ai prise le 22 novembre de l'année passée, 2023. C'est ça, c'est le CBC, c'est les données officielles de la Banque du Canada. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Regardez ça, combien qu'on paye, juste l'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette. C'est en train de crier en haut du ciel maintenant, mais j'ai la solution. C'est la TRD du dragon, j'ai la solution, c'est la TRD du dragon, j'ai la solution, c'est la TRD du dragon. Il faut faire l'implémentation. Vous pouvez être de la droite, de la gauche, vous pouvez dire oui, non, sans. Méchants Québécois et Québécoises, Canadiens et Nord-Américains, il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la TRD, puis je vais vous l'expliquer c'est quoi maintenant. Fait que la TRD, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Tenez compte que ma TRD, ça inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire, la théorie d'intégration monétaire, la théorie d'intégration monétaire. C'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe. Ils ont créé une nouvelle banque commune en Europe. Je vais tourner ma tête de gauche à droite. Faites attention à la marde de cheval, l'excrément de cheval qui est là, mais c'est fertile, c'est bon pour la fertilité, j'imagine. Mais en tout cas, puis ici, si vous venez en pente, faites attention que ça descende, bien sûr. Et bien sûr, ça fasse XYZ. Puis bien sûr, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc, on va prendre toute la dette. Ma dette, tant que citoyen privé de 10 500, ma dette, votre dette, notre dette. De côte à côte, les Canadiens, de côte à côte, Québécois, Canadiens, de côte à côte, les Québécois et Canadiens, de côte à côte. Toute la dette publique-privée. On va ramasser ça ensemble. Vu que le dollar des États-Unis, c'est encore la devise, l'argent de choix pour les finances internationales, pour le monde global, pour le commerce final, commerce du globe, les finances du monde international, puis les affaires étrangères, puis l'import, puis l'export. Le dollar américain, la devise des États-Unis, c'est encore, bien sûr, la devise d'échange. Ou dans le numéro un, bien sûr. Et c'est ça qu'on va faire. On va prendre toute cette dette-là. Toute cette dette publique-privée, bien sûr, public-privé, bien sûr, public-privé, bien sûr. On va faire tout ce ramassage ensemble, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée. On va faire un gros paquet ensemble. Toute cette dette-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. L'argent de toute la dette publique-privée du Canada, des États-Unis, du Mexique, tenez compte que je parle pour l'Amérique du Nord, et tenez compte que ma TRD, ça inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ce qui est exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe. En Europe, bien sûr, ils ont fait la création d'une nouvelle monnaie, bien sûr. Puis ils ont fait de la création d'une nouvelle banque. Fait qu'on va faire pareil, mais avec une différence. On va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée. Ma dette de 10 500, 10 500, 10 500. Votre dette, ma dette, votre dette, ma dette de 10 500. J'ai 10 500 de dette. Avec votre dette, notre dette de côte à côte. Tout cet argent-là, on va convertir l'argent de la dette publique canadienne, publique-privée, les publics et privés, avec certains standards, bien sûr. On va convertir dans la devise des États-Unis. On va mettre avec les États-Unis, avec le Mexique, le peso, on va faire la conversion, l'Haïti, la gourde, puis les autres pays, Cuba, s'ils veulent. Sinon, Canada, premièrement, puis États-Unis, puis après ça, on verra, transatlantique, peut-être. Toute la dette publique-privée, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Cette nouvelle banque, ça va créer une nouvelle monnaie d'échange, une nouvelle unité d'échange qu'on va appeler l'UI, unité échange universel. U point unité échange point universel. L'unité d'échange universel. U point unité point échange universel. U point unité point échange universel. L'unité d'échange universel. L'unité d'échange universel. L'unité d'échange universel. U point unité point échange universel. L'unité d'échange universel basée sur le dollar des États-Unis, Fait que ça va avoir la valeur du dollar des États-Unis. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum. Fait qu'il va avoir un taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum. Ça peut être 3,33, 7,18, 4,18, 4,18 ou quoi que ce soit, 9,3. C'est ça, that's all. Fait qu'on va mettre tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Une nouvelle banque centrale de l'Amérique du Nord, ça peut être avec d'autres pays, bien sûr, qu'on va appeler, bien sûr, une nouvelle banque, puis on va créer une nouvelle unité d'échange basée sur la valeur du dollar des États-Unis. C'est pour ça qu'on va faire la conversion. Fait qu'on va mettre tout cet argent-là ensemble. On va faire cette conversion. On va aller faire les salutations solaires ici un peu. En discutant ça, on va faire les salutations solaires ici. On va faire les salutations solaires ici. Donc, on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée. Ma dette, votre dette, ma dette, votre dette, ma dette, votre dette. Oh, tout cet argent-là de la dette publique-privée, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt maximum de 10%. 10% maximum, ça peut être 3,33, 7,18, 4,18, 7,70, 6,1, 9,3, mais en bas de 10% maximum. Fait que toute cette dette-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. On va donner une nouvelle devise. Cette nouvelle devise, ça va s'appeler l'unité U, unité, unité, échange universel, oui. Pour ça, je fais appel à mon frère Scorpion Bill Gates, frère Scorpion Joe Biden, ça prend le public et le privé. Les banques privées puis publiques qui travaillent ensemble là-dessus pour la création de l'unité d'échange universel. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum, on va faire un gel prix du beurre, prix du pain, prix du lait, on va standardiser, puis avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir financer les deux institutions de partenariat public-privé, de Citoyen Integré, de PPP, l'armée du dragon pour la défense, sécurité puis le service basé sur un couple de mes philosophies, avec l'armée de la déesse qui danse pour l'environnement, pour l'environnement, pour l'environnement. Puis c'est ça, on va mettre un taux d'intérêt, c'est ça que ça va faire bien sûr, cette nouvelle devise, un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir financer les gens à faire l'entraînement physique, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure, rebâtir plus de centrales, rebâtir l'infrastructure du collectif de civilisation nord-américain, bien du travail public dans le collectif de civilisation nord-américain, surtout les aqueducs, bien sûr, tous les travaux du terrain, puis tous les travaux du terrain, bien sûr, de l'aqueduc, puis bien sûr, tout le travail qu'il va avoir à faire, bien sûr, sur les autoroutes aussi, le chemin de fer du 21e siècle. On va faire tout ça, partenariat public-privé pour ce gros travail d'un partenariat public-privé pour ici, le collectif de civilisation nord-américain, le collectif de civilisation nord-américain, pour le collectif de civilisation nord-américain, c'est ça qu'on va faire. Puis je dois maintenant attacher, bien sûr, faire l'attacher parce que quand je descends ici, je vois que ma ceinture elle tombe, fait que je me serre la ceinture, puis avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir bâtir la maison du dragon rouge écarlate, le temple de la déesse, puis on va pouvoir faire bien des affaires, parce que c'est ça l'argent. Ça sert à faire des choses, à nous faire des choses. Fait que la TRD, c'est moi qui vous bénis par la TRD. J'ai été maudit par l'Asperger's, mais maintenant je vous donne la solution de la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Chers Québécois et Québécoises, il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Vous pouvez dire la gauche, la droite, il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Vous pouvez vous ostiner tant que vous voulez. Vous avez vu la preuve, là, en 3 ans, mais c'est sûr, à cause de la COVID, ça a doublé, là, payer l'intérêt sur les finances. Puis il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. C'est ça. Qui est ça? C'est that's it, that's all, Rock&Roll. Vous pouvez vous ostiner tant que vous voudrez, mais c'est la solution. Ben, il n'y a pas d'autre solution, méchant. Puis ça, je l'ai étudié que ça a été fait quelque chose de semblable dans l'ancien Empire romain. Ne pas que ça soit confondu avec la Roumanie, parce que même si la Roumanie, ça vient du latin, puis ça vient de l'Empire romain avant, là, mais c'est l'Empire romain, pas Roumanie, mais c'est sûr que le mot Roumanie, ça vient de l'Empire romain. J'étais là dans une autre vie prêtresse, puis pendant 22 ans, de 22 ans à 44, quasiment 45, j'ai servi les légions de l'Empire. Durant la Pax Romana, là, c'était un bon temps prospère, là, il y avait quand même la paix relative, mais je bandageais, je me lavais, puis je préparais de la nourriture pour les légions de l'Empire romain. Dans une autre vie, j'étais né ici, homme-femme, Là, quand je viens ici, j'ai des flashs de réincarnation mystique. Fait que je fais toujours des flashs de réincarnation mystique. Je fais toujours des flashs de réincarnation mystique. Puis je fais toujours, bien sûr, que ce soit bien sûr pour l'environnement ici, que ça soit bien sûr fait pour l'environnement. Puis toujours faire de l'entraînement physique avec mes frères et sœurs qui viennent ici. Puis je dois toujours aimer le monde qui vient ici. Puis je dois toujours avoir la gratitude. Puis je dois toujours faire attention quand je discute avec certains gens parce que à cause de l'Asperger, c'est pas facile, puis je répète des choses, puis je dis deux, trois fois la même chose, deux, trois fois la même chose, ou je répète des choses, puis je peux bien sûr obséder sur certains sujets d'intérêt, comme la géopolitique, toutes des choses comme ça, bien sûr, que je suis obsédé par. Il est 6h04, puis je suis toujours en mode de faire la gestion de mon Asperger's quand je fais l'interaction avec des gens, mais vous voyez, j'ai été maudit, j'ai perdu des amis, puis tout ça, puis ces dernières années, mais je suis content, je suis joyeux, j'ai la gratitude, puis tu sais, je vis une vie simple, sévère, austère, j'ai pas vraiment de stress à part les finances en ce moment, c'est juste mon seul stress, là, c'est financier, économique, là, j'ai eu des emplois, mais tu sais, à cause de l'Asperger's, mais les gens comprennent mal c'est quoi, ils pensent que c'est une maladie mentale, puis c'est une condition neurodivergente, ça fait que j'ai des intérêts obsessifs, puis je répète 2-3 fois la même chose, puis je peux utiliser des mots trop sophistiqués du vocabulaire qui n'ont pas vraiment de sens, bien sûr, quand je discute certains sujets, puis l'écolélia, ça s'appelle, des fois je dis à voix haute qu'est-ce que quelqu'un dit, comme tu vas dire une phrase, puis je vais répéter la phrase ou les mots que tu viens de dire, et bien sûr c'est pas pour le monde il pense que c'est pour niaiser, mais c'est pas ça, c'est un symptôme de l'Asperger's. Puis je pense à cause de ça aussi que je fais des nouveaux amis, j'ai changé les téléphones, là, mais ça n'a jamais donné. Mais anyways. Puis pour le collectif de Civilisation Americain, on va devoir jouer la défense. Parce que moi, mes initiatives, mes protocoles, incluant la TRD, la théorie de la dette, puis la théorie d'intégration citoyenne, bien sûr, c'est bien sûr quelque chose que c'est pour jouer la défense. Tu sais, je joue la défense. Comme je défendrais Purdy parce que je suis un 49er San Francisco, Brady puis Tom Brady, comme si on serait dans le Super Bowl, c'est ça que j'envisage. Puis mes protocoles, c'est pour les 2 institutions de partenariat public-privé, puis ainsi que bien sûr mes institutions de partenariat public-privé pour en faire bien sûr l'intégration citoyenne, puis pour faire bien sûr l'intégration citoyenne, il faut faire de l'entraînement physique, bien sûr. Puis c'est ça qu'il faut faire, bien sûr, au quotidien, puis je vous encourage, puis avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir financer les gens à faire l'entraînement physique. C'est ça qui est beau avec cette théorie-là. On va pouvoir financer les gens à faire l'entraînement physique. On va pouvoir les financer, les gens, à faire de l'entraînement physique. C'est ça qui est super beau de cette théorie, c'est que ça a un but, puis c'est quand même, il faut faire, la TRD, il faut que ça soit implémenté. Vous avez vu qu'il n'y a pas d'autre solution. À moins que vous me dites de quelque chose de parallèle qui semble à ma théorie, là, quelque chose de semblable, mais vous avez vu la preuve, là, ça a plus que doublé payer l'intérêt en 3 ans, de 2020, 2021, en 2023, 2024. C'est pas une petite affaire, ça, là. Ça a doublé, là. C'est le double. C'est plus que le double. Ils ont fait quelque chose de semblable, comme je disais, dans l'ancien Rome. Fait que je peux dire que j'ai été inspiré par certains protocoles qui ont été faits dans le passé, mais ça prend à écouter mon oncle Legault, mon cousin Justin, des fois, n'est pas, mais il faut le faire. Puis le roi est absent, en passant, le roi est absent. Il faut faire la République démocratique de l'Amérique du Nord, il faut faire la République démocratique de l'Amérique du Nord, il faut faire la République démocratique de l'Amérique du Nord. Comme qu'ils ont fait en Europe, l'Union, c'est le temps. C'est le temps de s'unir, les Nord-Américains, là, c'est le temps. C'est le temps qu'on arrête de niaiser, là, c'est le temps, là, on a du travail à faire. Il y a des gens qui souffrent, c'est les travailleurs en construction, par exemple, qui vont bâtir des constructions, là, les maisons, j'entends à la radio, je veux envoyer de l'amour, un peu de rock and roll, là. travail de construction méchant, là, il faut être conscient de ces choses-là, tu sais, parce que je peux en parler des années, puis si je mets pas les pieds en marche, je les mets au travail, mais ça se fait pas, tu sais. Ça prend du savoir-faire, ça prend de la philosophie, puis ça prend de la philosophie aussi, mais il faut que ça soit balancé par l'action, il faut que ça soit en balance par l'action. Moi-même, j'ai vécu des temps difficiles, j'étais en dépression suicidaire, bien sûr, j'étais en dépression suicidaire, et bien sûr, je suis ici, j'ai des cicatrices, et j'ai mon petit clitopénis, cicatrice, petit clitopénis, cicatrice, mais je parle de mes choses quand même ouvertes, là, des cicatrices, puis des choses que j'ai ouvertement en ligne depuis des années. J'aime ça le set de masochisme en arc-en-ciel. Pas besoin de m'espionner les services secrets des Russes, services secrets de la Chine, de la Russie, de la Chine. Pas besoin de m'espionner. Hein. Pas qu'ils peuvent me chantager par ça, là, puis des choses comme ça qui peuvent me chantager par cause de ma sexualité arc-en-ciel qui vont faire ça. Avec consentement hygiène. Je suis pas vraiment en manque, mais j'ai le désir pour donner des câlins puis de l'amour. C'est sûr, l'amour dans l'arc-en-ciel chez nous, mais c'est pas vraiment quelque chose que je sais. J'aime ça faire du matchmaking. Fait que quand je vois les autres donner des bisous, des câlins, mais ça me donne quand même un peu d'espoir. Je vais juste m'hydrater un peu ici. Je vais juste m'hydrater un peu, puis je vais juste m'hydrater un peu ici. Faire bien sûr de l'épervier. On va faire des éperviers un peu ici. Ça c'est un peu. On va faire les éperviers ainsi, puis on va faire bien sûr les éperviers, puis on va faire de l'entraînement de la gauche, puis de la droite, de l'entraînement de la gauche, puis de la droite. Puis je vais m'hydrater. L'hydratation, c'est super important. Fait que je vais boire toute l'eau. On va boire toute l'eau parce que il m'en reste même pas de l'eau. Wow, je pensais qu'il m'en restait un peu, un goutte. Rien qu'un goutte, bien sûr, pour en faire la goutte. Fait que là, on va faire du rock-and-roll en bilingue. Je vais remettre ça sur ma tête, sur mon bras, sur mon dos. On the back, and here we go. On the back, and here we flow. On the back, and here we rock and roll. For those on the studios, for the rock and roll we go. For those butchers and the bakers. Sometimes we gotta loving of it. So with this, we gotta do a little bit of workout with this. Gotta get it on the XYZ, so we gotta get it on the drill, play that defense, jouer à la défense. Play that defense, left, right, and center, jouer à la défense. Pour le collectif de Civilisation Americain, for that North American Civilisation Collective. Let's go for that. Public-private partnership. We gotta work out, train, exercise. We gotta work out, train, exercise. We gotta work out, train, exercise. We gotta work out, train, exercise pour l'entraînement physique. Super important de faire l'entraînement physique. Et bien sûr, de faire la gratitude vers le soleil, puis bien sûr, le lavage, puis le nettoyage avec du savon. We gotta get dirty but get back clean. Gotta get dirty but get back clean. We gotta get dirty but get back clean. So we gotta go left and right and left. And then we gotta do like this, and then we gotta do like that. We gotta put it on, and then we gotta put it in. We gotta do left, we gotta do right, and then we gotta do on the left, and we gotta do on the right, and then we gotta do left, and we gotta do right. That's what we gotta do. So we gotta get it on the go. So gotta get it on the now, you know. So that's what we're gonna go doing. And we gotta go doing for the doers, and we gotta go do it for the lovers and the butchers and. Got that androgynous for the looks and for the cooks, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors. Les androgynes qui parlent, ben ça fasse bien bénite. Avec de l'eau, puis du savoir-faire. Il faut regarder que ça lance. Puis chez nous de la belle province, from the belle province, from Quebec. We gotta kiss it before we leave it. We gotta kiss it before we do it. We gotta kiss it before we lovers. For the lovers and the butchers and those grocery store clerks, somebody gotta love them. Somebody gotta love him, somebody gotta sing for the fight for the LOV. On the road up in the sea, you go stretch up in with me. Sur la route, faut qu'on danse, faut que ça chante les pompiers, faites attention à la route. Gotta get it, get that safety, gotta get it with the doing. Gotta get it for the doers, for the bakers, for the butchers, for the looks. Gotta sing some rock and roll up in the look. Gotta sing a rock and roll up in the flux. The flux up in the blocks. We gotta get it for the rockers. And those bakers and those nurses. Hey, changing diapers up in daycare. Changement des couches. Dans les gardiens dans la garderie. Faut dire en haut ici les gratte-ciel. Faut que ça fasse un autre rock'n'roll pour qu'il danse. Puis les feuilles, ça fait le ménage. Le soleil, le pape qui danse. Ah ouais, à la danse. L'arc-en-ciel, vient après la tonnerre, la tempête. Il faut bouger de la gauche à droite. We gotta give it for the left and for the right. I got freestyle out of sight. We gotta freestyle out of right. We gotta freestyle, that's right. For the rock'n'roll, you know that's sight. For the rock'n'roll, you know that's right. I'd have smile on a smile. I'd have been up in the down dirty. I'd have been up in the south. Bury me with Papa Crowley up in New Jersey. Bury me with Papa Crowley up in Hampton, up in New Jersey. Bury me with Papa Crowley up in Hampton, up in New Jersey. Gotta sing up in the sea. Gotta sing up in the lee. Gotta sing up in your sea. And you find those creeping things up in the island. And you crush and eat. For the enemies you see bleed. 7 for the men that please. 7 for the men that 7 for the men that please. Et pour aller que ça chante bien. Des fois, faut que ça danse. Pour le ménage, faut faire un peu de la transe. Gotta stretch, gotta stretch it for the left, gotta stretch it for the right, gotta stretch it for the sea up in the light, gotta stretch it for those microphones up in the sight, gotta stretch it for that microphone up in the light, gotta stretch it for that microphone up in the right, gotta stretch it for that microphone up in the right, up in the left, up in the right, up in the black and the white, up in the rainbow. Le noir et blanc, puis l'arc-en-ciel, puis ça danse les mains, puis le fer, le gabeur, ben regarde, une autre de la belle province, puis il faut faire des accroupissements. Gotta do some of those squats. Always gotta do a little bit of squats. Squats and push-ups there. Pomper des accroupissements toujours. Prescription always prescribed a little bit of those push-ups, hugs and squats as we go. So gotta stretch a little bit. I'm looking a little bit for the spider. I don't see the spiders today. J'ai pas vu bien sûr les. Aujourd'hui j'ai pas vu bien sûr les araignées. Spiders in the French is araignées. Des araignées. Spiders. Gotta check that time because I gotta be home. 8 latest. Let's see. 6:15, 6:15, and gotta head out back. So gotta keep on doing and loving and butchers and bakers and thinking about all the truckers now, all the truckers now, all the truckers now, all the truckers now, and the transport. Passe à tous les camionneurs sur le transport maintenant, ils font du transport. We gotta get it on the left and on the right and on the side, and we gotta get it on the lovers, for the butchers and the bakers and the nurses, and we gotta fly high sometimes, we gotta get those meds, which are the push-ups, the hugs and the squats. C'est quoi la médecine de votre dragon arc-en-ciel? C'est l'entraînement physique, des pompes, avec des accroupissements, puis avec des éperviers. Dans les airs, on y va. Dans les airs, we gotta get it on that dessert. We gotta get it on that fleece. We gotta get it on that fleece. We gotta get it on that D's. On the rock and roll, you know we please. Up in that rock and roll, you know we leave. You know we leave for the lovers and the butchers and the squeeze. We gotta love up in the relief. We gotta love up in the love, up in the relief. We gotta relieve. For those firefighters, we gotta get for the butchers, and we gotta get it for the X's. X's for the whiters, for the Z's, for those public workers on the coast, on the crow. And we gotta get it on the do for those doers and the believers and the philosophers. Pour les philosophes qui pensent, qui font un peu de la comédie puis ça danse. Là, chez nous, sur la montagne, je vois des vies antérieures, je rentre en trance. On the mountain, I come in those past lives, reincarnated, I get in a trance, believe a sight. Believe a sight is gonna be alright. If you work out, get a kisses and some huggings and some licks. Des câlins puis des pompes. Là, chez nous, de la belle province, il faut que je retourne. Chez nous, et où l'araignée, where's the spiders? I don't see the spiders up and up. I want to see the spiders up and down. I want the spiders up and down. I want the spider up and down. Up and in the bright and up and down. Bright up in the left, bright up in the right. Bright up in the south is set. Bright up in the sun is set. Sun is set up in the set. Gotta give it for some let's. Gotta give it for some let's. Gotta give it for some left. Hey, live some. Live some. Live some. Laisse un peu pour les autres. Soyez pas si égoïste. Je suis pas parfait loin de l'heure, mais je prétends pas. Je suis pas si égoïste pour ça là, je prétends pas. We gotta get it XYZ. We gotta get it XY left. We gotta get it on the screw you left. On the screw you said. On the screws you left. That's that workout on the dragon said. Workout on the dragon said. Workout on the dragon led. Work out on the dragon ladder for those spiders and the butchers up things said. Nothing said. That smells so good up in the wood yet. Smell good up in the wood yet. Smells good up in the wood yet. Hey, the kisses I got by the plenty. Des bisous, j'en ai pour le plein. Que ça soit pour le fromage, que ça soit pour les montagnes, que ça soit pour. Hey, la danse du Canada, la belle province. For that Canada, coast to coast, North America, in the road. North America, in the road. North America, in the road. And I love the smell here. That's just the go. I just love the smell here. That's right, bend a little bit. When you bend a little bit, you get a little bit of the smell of this wood. And it just smells so good, and you get fresh. You know, you get that fresh, and you got to get that fresh with it. And it's always good on the wood, and it's always good when you get it. And it's always good when you, of course, going to be with a fresh smell with it. So it's always now. It's always doing anything now, and it's always something happening now, and somebody making love, and maintenant quelqu'un fait l'amour, somebody giving some charity, give some charity, quelqu'un qui donne de la charité un peu, you know. Gotta get that DRT. Here, it looks like it was cut by professionals, ça a été coupé, mais ça a été comme ça, que ça la fasse bien sûr, on fait que ça la fasse bien sûr ici. Ça la fasse, bien sûr ici, que ça tombait à cause de peut-être, des tonnerres, maybe because of those thunders, maybe because of those thunders. It got a little bit like this. So I'm not sure, but it looks like that's what happened here from the thunder, and gotta get on the XYZ. So, oh yeah, look at that snail. I see a snail there. Inside there's a snail there. There's a snail there. There's a snail. And escargot, that's a snail there. So it looks very interesting. See, if you look inside here, I'm gonna take some pictures of it because it's really interesting. I think it was lightning. It looked like lightning strikes, and it's time to get going in a minute anyway. So pictures and go, and that's what it is about, and that's what it is about. So I'm gonna take some pictures of this, and we gotta get it on the pictures. So XYZ, and gotta get some pictures on the love, and we gotta get some of that doing on the H. Christus of the Goddess. We gotta get it for the lovers, and we gotta get it for the butchers, and gotta squeeze up in the XYZ. Gotta have LOV, you know, got a little bit of LOV for those truckers on the road, and we gotta go get it, and now we gotta turn back to gotta turn back for. Why is that? And we gotta go for that. I'm just gonna do a little more spots here for being sure that d'autres accomplissement ici, mais I gotta get it on the XYZ. And I gotta go. Gotta clean my gotta go hydrate, and then we're gonna head back, you know. Where can we hydrate best? We'll hydrate best by the lions, and then head back, I guess. What time is it? Oh, we gotta head back now. I'm just gonna stretch and rock and roll with it, and go hydrate, and stretch. That felt good. There they go, they're gonna chase it on. Gonna go on to chase it on, and gonna chase it on and yes, man. So gotta go towards that gotta go towards the sun, you know. So that's what we're gonna be doing, man. Going towards the sun. Going back. Going back on the XYZ, so we're gonna do it on the love, you know, so gotta get it on the coast, gotta get it on the dopes for those lovers on the block. Those, yeah, look at that. That's the king. Oh yeah, that's a good exercise, man. You have some good dancing here. Gotta get that hydration, you know, so gonna hydrate and that's what we're gonna do, man. Oh yeah, it feels good. So we're gonna fill up the bottle and get going, you know. I wanna see that. Okay. On y va. That's about it, you know. Thank you to those who build it, you know, just do a meditation and how much labor it took for me to have this water here for me, for you, for us. Fait une méditation, combien ça a pris d'eau pour avoir ce privilège ici pour pouvoir boire de l'eau, to have this privilege to drink water, you know, it's something, something. It's something, something, so it's always on the thinking about it, c'est juste penser bien sûr à ça. You gotta think about that, man, you know. I'll be thinking, water's a bit hot, so I'm gonna let it for 44 seconds. 44 secondes. Maybe less, whatever, half a minute, moitié minute, là, mais ça coule. Mais l'eau est chaude un peu. It's a bit on the hot water, so anyways, I'll just hydrate a little bit first. Ça sera pas long, je suis en train de voir.
Quoi, tu filmes?
Je suis en train de faire du rock&roll, des vlogs sur la montagne.
Ah ouais?
Ouais. Veux-tu un rock&roll?
Ça veut dire quoi?
Je compose des chansons en mode libre là, quand je m'en vais sur la montagne, là, dans la forêt. Là.
Ah ouais?
Ouais! Je t'en compose une maintenant.
Ouais?
De quel bout tu viens?
Moi je viens d'un peu partout.
Il vient d'un peu partout, le soir après-midi, il fait comme un loup. C'est bon, hein? Ah oui, mais ça. Ah, je fais du rock'n'roll, je compose de la poésie du rock'n'roll 24/24.
Ah ouais?
Je t'en viens de t'en prouver la preuve.
Bah ouais.
Il vient d'un peu partout, il fait des soirs après-midi comme un loup. Le chauve-souris dans ses cheveux. Tiens, tiens. Tu vas-tu t'en souvenir?
Bah oui.
Chante là quand tu seras rendu chez toi, je sais pas. Ciao, ciao. Amour à vous autres.
Bonne journée.
Toi aussi, toi aussi. That's du bon rock and roll, and on va faire du rock and roll. Fait comme un loup, that's it. Québec rock and roll, man. Québec rock and roll, you know, so that's it, man. Canada, XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. That's how we're gonna go drill it, man, you know. Yeah. That's how we're gonna go drill it with it, you know. So that's how we're gonna go sip on it, and they're there getting a little bit of X and a little bit of loving. So I sang them a little bit of that good rock and roll for that, you know. So that's all it is with me, man. That's all it is with me. Rock and roll 24/7. That's what it is with me, man. Oh yeah. Wow. I feel good. Ah, yeah, feels good. Anyways, not gonna be a long one. This one is gonna be up until here, but let's go through there. Through the jungle again. It's not a jungle, it's a forest, but it always makes me get flashes of past lives. And sometimes I get that past life flash when I was in the jungles of Vietnam. You know, I served in the U.S. Army. I served in the Vietnam War. Like 44 months and 3 weeks. 44 months and 3 weeks. About 44 months and 3 weeks. And that's it, that's all, you know. So here we go, here we go, here we go. So we gotta do on the XYZ, XYZ, you know. So we gotta do a turn a little bit, and there's a little trail here. It's very rare. It's a small trail, but you gotta be careful if you take it. Juste faire attention quand vous. Je peux pas aller trop loin parce que là il faut que je retourne chez nous. Là, mais can't go too much because now I gotta go back to headquarters. But nonetheless, see, it's a trail here. So it's a small trail. Just be careful. Don't deviate to the left. But this is a trail. C'est un chemin. Un chemin, il y a plusieurs chemins ici. Here you can come make out here, man. Perfect make out spot. But I mean, there's not really neighbors that can watch you, but just watch it if kids come. But you can, venez faire l'amour ici, venez faire l'amour ici, faire l'amour ici, faire l'amour ici. Bien sûr, il faut faire attention, tu sais, parce que des fois, mais le chemin ici est visible, mais c'est quand même, vous pouvez faire, tu sais, que vous pouvez faire des choses, bien sûr, pour faire, bien sûr, du X, Y, Z, mais vous pouvez venir puis faire vous amuser ici, tu sais, quand même, vous pouvez s'asseoir. Si vous buvez, mais mettez ça dans les vidanges. If you come eat and drink, just don't leave it here, like, you know the drill. Vous savez déjà, mais ce que je demande, c'est que vous ramassez après vous, puis that's it, that's all. Rock&Roll, ok, non, il faut que je retourne maintenant, là. Gotta get back. 6:33, ok. I gotta be there by 8. Je vais de retour chez nous jusqu'à 8h, là. Prendre ma douche, me changer. Ah, là. So that's gonna be drill, and we gotta get it. Drill, and we gotta do drill, and we gotta do it for the LOV. So I'm not gonna film. We're not gonna film a lot, so I'm gonna film up to here, and it's always been fun. It's always fun to come here. Always fun to. I always feel good after when I come here, when I go back, and I'm less only stressed now is financial. Le seul stress maintenant, c'est financier pour moi-même. En parlant pour moi-même, c'est ça. Speaking for myself, but for many others, the DRT is the solution. La TRD, c'est la solution. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution, méchant. Vous avez vu la preuve, you saw the proof I showed you in the official numbers of the Bank of Canada. And support the dream, the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, soutenez le rêve. Le rêve de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, le royaume, the dream. And now we're not gonna film a long one because probably gonna get a little bit on that jog, just try to be there before 7:30. So I'm probably gonna jog a little bit, and I'm working with a laptop, so it's gonna be a hardcore issue to do the jogging with the laptop with it. So pour faire du jogging avec le laptop, bien sûr, ça va être plus difficile, bien sûr, mais c'est plus difficile, bien sûr, pour faire du jogging avec le laptop. Puis it's my work too, c'est mon outil de travail quand même. Anyways, grateful, thankful, rent, paid, electricity bills paid. Gratitude que j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, puis c'est bien sûr l'entraînement physique. The berries. These are the berries, man. Elderberries. C'est-tu de l'elderberries? C'est-tu de l'elderberries? Oh, maybe. Oh, I think I have some. Oh, wow. Sprout, let's see. Anyways, that's all we gotta do, so that's all we gotta get doing, so. Gotta watch it when you go. Just stay on the right side. I wish I could paint them some color, some rainbow. Oh yeah. What the? And we go marching towards the sun. Gotta go marching towards the sun. Gotta go march towards the sun, baby. Marching back to headquarters. Gonna be about an hour. So I think that they do not. Turn your heads left and right, man. Before we cross the streets. Tunel natin de gauche à droite quand vous traversez, puis towards the west, vers l'ouest. On s'en va avec une chanson nouvelle. What a new song we go every day. Plus for the septemium. We gotta get it on the road. We gotta get it on the floor. We gotta get it for the love. And we gotta get it for some more. We gotta get it for some love. Gotta get it for some scrub. We gotta get it. Time is it? 2 more minutes. 2 autres minutes parce que à 6:44, 6:44, this video stops and it's not gonna be. It's already a long overtime workout. So come on, man. To get back to headquarters, it takes me about an hour at this pace. À peu près une heure. Gotta salute that bus 66. Literally, this bus 66. I'm not playing like that song. pas comme la chanson, c'est vraiment le 66, l'autobus 66. It really is the 66 bus. It's not like the song. We gotta make a new song every day. We gotta make a new love. On the X and on the Y. On the Z and on the right. On the stress and on the set. On the wet and on the left. For the right and for the dimes. Sometimes you just gotta make that love before you get run out of time. Le temps des fois, il faut faire de l'amour. Faut pas le temps perdre. De l'amour, des bisous, puis des câlins, puis des chatouilles avec des pompes, puis l'entraînement physique, et puis pour la renaissance, for that rebirth. Cause I ain't got no time to waste. But for loving them, for training, for the push-ups and some dancing, always ready. For that defense coast to coast, like I'm defending Purdy, Super Bowl, Brady. Grateful thing with my rent paid. Just a bit of spade and got food and coffee, you know. It's cafe petit thé and it's always on the go now, meditating on satellites. Gotta go get it some why, you know, so gotta watch it when you cross the street, man. Gotta get it for the left, right, Z. Gotta keep on going on the west. It's about 7 kilometers. 7 about, more or less. About 7 kilometers, maybe 8, something like that. Depending what road we do, because there's snakes, you can deviate like that. So that's what it is. That's what I gotta do, man. And we gotta do for the bird who gotta see you. And so we gotta drill, man.